today I have another student with me. She is Prathibha Gandhi, and she completed her master's from NIT Warangal. But it was very tough time for her because that was COVID period, and mostly people are not able to do projects at that time. Still, she managed to get a fully funded PhD in USA. So, Pratibha, welcome to YourPedia platform, first of all, and many congratulations to you.
Thank you, sir.
So कैसी फीलिंग आ रही है प्रतिभा? अभी तुम्हारे ऑफर 3-4 ऑफर लेटर आ चुके हैं, 2-3 अभी पेंडिंग है. So how you are feeling now?
It do feels great and I'm very much enthusiastic. I'm looking forward to it.
So I want to let our audience know that Pratibha is one typical case where she actually made her profile. She was not able to do very good project during the COVID time, but after that she joined some research institute in Chandigarh, and she still makes her profile. Initially, Pratibha, I want to tell you, when you joined YourPedia, I was very skeptical whether you will get PhD or not. But finally, you showed everyone, you proved me wrong, and this is actually very great thing. So, Pratibha, we will start. First of all, I think our audience want to know a little bit about you. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure, sir. As you have already told, I am Prathibha Gandhi. I live in Hisar, Haryana. I have completed my bachelor's from DN College, Kurukshetra University. Then for my master's, I moved to Telangana. I did my master's from NIT Warangal. Currently, I'm doing a research project at IISER Mohali.
Yes. So, how much time you spend in IISER Mohali after your master's?
Almost a year.
Almost a year. Okay. So I will start from your master's first of all. In the very first semester, I think like you did coursework, and how much CGPA you got during that period?
My CGPA was around 8.02, I guess.
So some students think like very high CGPA is required for fully funded PhD, but I would say like 8 is decent CGPA. If you have 8 CGPA, then you have decent chance of getting into this fully funded PhD. So Pratibha, I know like you want to know, you want to go for PhD in abroad from the very beginning, but that was the COVID period when you are not able to go to college and perform some research. So how you manage that time, like after your coursework, how you manage all these things?
Yeah, it was very difficult actually because doing a research in COVID times was a task. So to manage that, I joined a computational laboratory where I can do some sort of computational work at my home. So that
Okay.
gave me a different kind of exposure and a different perspective to my research, co-research, which I'm doing in organic synthesis. So, but then eventually I find something near my house also to work in some local labs where I have Guru Jambeshwar University, Haryana Agriculture University near my home. I went there and learned about different fields of research where I can go. So I just utilize that time in that way.
Okay, I think I forgot to tell our audience, like, what is your department and what is your specialization? Can you tell us?
Yeah, my department is chemistry and my specialization is organic chemistry, particularly synthesis.
Okay, so I know like when you have to apply for fully funded PhD, you have to write this GRE exam, TOEFL exam. So when you were applying, did you write this exam, and is it actually required for your PhD process?
Yeah, I gave all these exams, GRE optional, GRE subject test, and TOEFL also. GRE is not at all required. I applied in 13 of the schools, and GRE was not required in any. For some schools, it was written that GRE is optional, but it won't be counted when we will evaluate you. So GRE is not required. TOEFL was very much required in most of the cases.
Okay, and one thing I want to know, like whether GRE is not required due to COVID, or it is not required at all in any of the school where you applied actually?
For some of the schools, it was written that due to COVID, it is not required. So for some of the schools, they said that they have completely eliminated this protocol of GRE. So it depends. We actually don't know right now.
And in which semester of your master's you wrote this exam, GRE?
Actually, I wrote GRE after my MSc. I
Oh,
started
after your
looking at PhD after my master's only.
Okay, after your master's, you decide like now you have to go to PhD. Okay. So, how you start this process? Like when you decided I want to go for PhD, how you started first?
Okay, so I completed my master's in May 2021, and in August I thought that I should go for PhD, and I started applying. I was not very confident, and then one of my friends told me about YourPedia, and I talked to you for the first time when I was about to join YourPedia. I joined YourPedia in November, precisely 29th November, and the last date for
Mm,
admissions was 15th of December, and in most of the cases it is 1st of December.
mm,
So you definitely gave me hope that I can go for it. But yeah, my profile was not ready, and it is not possible to get anything in that short span of
mm,
time. But
mm,
I would say with YourPedia, I got to know about the perfect series, SOPs, and what is exactly needed to get admission. So eventually, I worked over these things during the upcoming year, and then that's how I got it.
mm. Okay, so I think in this whole process, emailing to professor is very, very important. So, did you send emails? How many professors? Like you sent emails to how many professors?
Yeah, I would say now I do believe that it is really important.
Mm,
It also creates a hopeless situation. I'll say that when professors don't reply to your mails,
mm,
I didn't send much mails. I sent only 25 to 30 emails where I got
mm.
reply from five or six, and very positive replies were from three professors only. And
Okay.
when I'm seeing my results, I used a thing called mail tracker, and those professors who have seen my mail and not replied, I have got selection in those universities. I do get positive
Mm,
replies from two universities, but I am not getting any. There, I got
mm,
rejection from those two. Yeah, but mailing professors is really important because it just
mm.
introduced my profile and myself with them. So it definitely helps to get the admission.
Mm. That is actually true. When I'm talking to some professors in US, they keep telling this thing. If you are an international student, they don't know you. You may know them, but they don't know you. So you have to send emails, and it is very, very important to
Yeah.
introduce yourself to the professor. Yeah.
Yeah.
My next question is like when you send email to the professors, you told like you sent 25 to 30. How many replies you got out of that?
Six or seven, I don't remember the exact number, but it was more than
Mm,
six. Yeah, I do
mm,
remember that. More than six or seven I got. I
mm,
started mailing in, I would say, in August, I started mailing the professors because from February to July or August, I was working on my CV because I was lagging much behind the other competitors. I had to work
mm.
on my CV, I had to work on my SOP, and CV mein there were like four to five things with like I was not having any core or deep strong research experience. I was lacking in
Mm,
work experience. I was not having any paper or publications. No presentations or webinars. So I had to
mm.
work on these things. That's why I started mailing in August. And
Okay.
I got my first reply on 29th September.
Okay, that's great. So, in replies, like whether they schedule some meeting with you or they directly tell you like I'm going to select you, you can apply to this university. How it happens basically.
In one case, it was an instant meeting. The professor said,
Mm,
I'm very much interested in your profile. Let's set up a meeting after a week. uh, in one case it was like that. In another case it was like, yeah, I am interested, I would like to meet and know more about your research. It was a sort of interview. So I got
mm,
these two things where I was able to interact with the professors, and in rest of the cases it was just like, yeah, this is nice profile, go for it, we look forward for your application.
mm. So when they set up an interview with you, like what sort of questions they ask, how you prepared for that interview, and how long was that interview?
Okay, so when I got the call for interview, I contacted YourPedia, and I asked what, like, how will it go? And I was informed about some of the questions. And there was a mock interview also with you, I remember, I guess, yeah. So the questions were like, what kind of research I have done, and what is my research background, and what kind of graduate student I am and what I see in my professor. Like,
Okay.
yeah, and how I think peers should be. These were
Mm-hmm.
like basic questions. I think they want to know more about how I am as a person. So
Mm-hmm.
whether I can come to their lab or not. These were very
Mm-hmm.
basic questions. So they were testing my English proficiency and how I am as a person. These two things they were testing. And for research, they were not very, I would say, rigid about it. They were like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this is the work you are doing. This is the work you will do if you come to my lab. And it is not necessary if you are very much aware about it or not, but you should be willing to learn.
Yes, I think this is the purpose of interview. First of all, they want to check your communication skills. You are coming to their lab, whether you can communicate with them. It is very important. And research-wise, I think from your CV, they got the idea like whatever you did, and they are not much interested in that. So, okay, my next question to you is basically once you send emails to the professor, you have GRE score, TOEFL score, how you shortlist the universities, like here I have to apply, and in how many universities you applied actually.
Okay, so first of all, I didn't shortlist any professor at I didn't made any Excel sheet for the professor.
Mhm.
It was like I know that I am going to mail in 25 universities or 30 universities. I was having the name of universities only, and
Mhm.
I set up days because I was working in organic synthesis lab. It was very difficult to take out any time from that, so I
Mhm.
kept Saturday Sundays for mailing only. So after
Mhm.
coming back to lab, I was like, this is the university and here is the professor. There are three professors which are working in my field. And I just send random mails to, okay, this I have mailed to this university, this university, this university. I have shortlisted universities instead of professors. And university shortlisting was based on number one, QS world ranking, and number two was where I have some of my seniors. These were
Mhm.
the two things. I know people, or somehow I know someone in those universities from my field only. Either
Mhm.
a postdoc, either a PhD, or some MS student who has done some internship. I just look for some links and then I moved ahead. So that's how I did
Okay.
that.
So, you applied to which universities? Can you name them?
Okay, so first was Michigan, University of Michigan, Ann Arbor,
Mhm.
University of San Diego, University of Southern California, Ohio State University, University of North Texas, Arizona State University, and Minnesota, University of Minnesota, and
Mhm.
Indiana University. There were 13. I think I may be missing someone. University of
That's
Utah.
fine.
Yeah,
That's fine. So I think your list, after listening to your list, there are some universities which are ambitious. There are some
yeah,
universities which you think like I can get easily. So this is very smart choice, actually, I would
yeah.
say. So yeah, Pratibha, this is actually very good information which you provided us, and I would say like all the very best for your future career now. And I think you have to go for visa interview. Still, you have to
Yeah.
go for that visa interview, and all the very best for that. And yeah, mostly people after going to US they forget us. So I would say like if any of your junior will come tries to contact you, then please help them. And
Sure.
yes, this is our message to our audience also. If you want to know more about from Pratibha, you can contact us. Thank you, Pratibha, for being on YourPedia, and it's a great after interaction with you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.